Tonight, the latest on the bus driver charged with 3 DWIs after transporting a high school basketball team. Plus, fresh food for all. What a Wisconsin co-op is doing to make that dream a reality. And a never-ending traffic jam. The scary situation drivers on the East Coast were in thanks to a winter storm.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Welcome to the CBS3 News at 6. We are taking a live look at road conditions near Virginia and the Tom Rukavina Bridge as road crews across the region prepare for our next batch of snow. Good evening, I'm Kristen Baki. Thanks for joining us. A winter storm is making its way into our region and could impact your overnight and morning commute. Meteorologist Dave Anderson has been tracking the storm for us today. Dave, what kind of snow totals are we looking at?
We're looking at some decent snow totals for your snow fan. Shocking snow totals if you're not, perhaps.
Yeah.
Bottom line, Kristen, for many Minnesotans and some Wisconsinites, 4 to 8. The 8 closer to the lake. For the heart of the South Shore, the snow belt, there's a chance for 8 to 12, maybe even a little bit more towards Iron County and Gogebic counties. But because of the potential for the snow, National Weather Service has Minnesota and a good portion of Wisconsin facing a winter weather advisory until tomorrow at 3 p.m. The advice is take it easy traveling if you have to. Now there's also a winter storm warning going on at the same time for the North Shore and the South Shore, and that'll last a little bit longer, at least until Wednesday at 9 p.m. And the advice there from the Weather Service is to probably hunker down and not travel tomorrow, because that's the zone that could go towards 12 inches of snow. With the current Doppler and satellite map, we see that the snow is still hesitating along the border with Minnesota and North Dakota, crossing ever so tenuously and tentatively into northwestern Minnesota. But by about 9 o'clock tonight, it should break loose and come across our region. The latest models show a 100% chance for snow tonight and for tomorrow. Cool temperatures to boot coming in with this low pressure system. Low temp at 2. High temp tomorrow only 5, and then after that it could get even colder. We do shake off the snow by Thursday, and I'll talk about when our next round could come round in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. An update tonight on the charter bus driver who was arrested after he jeopardized the safety of a Duluth basketball team. Sean Zelezny of Sturgeon Lake is charged with 3 DWIs. The 48-year-old is accused of drinking while driving the Duluth Denfeld boys basketball team to and from a tournament in Hibbing last Thursday. CBS3's Natalie Grant heard from the team's head coach today, who was on the bus that night, and says he's thankful everyone is okay.
Coach Phil Homer and his Denfeld basketball team found themselves in a scary situation on the way home from a tournament. The man driving their coach bus was drunk.
And I'm like, sir, are you okay? And he said, yes, I'm fine.
Sean Zelezny was driving the LCS coach's bus last Thursday. According to Coach Homer, they didn't know Zelezny was intoxicated before boarding the bus, but as the trip progressed, they saw red flags.
So he was driving, and it wasn't until I was like, well, you're coming up on a turn in 300 feet. You're going to make this right. And he said, all right. And so when we got close, I said, you're making this right. You have to slow down. And he just kept going.
Missing turns, hitting stop signs, and saying strange things all prompted Homer and his staff to reach out for help.
Like, okay, something just isn't right here. So at that moment, I contacted one of the parents that were at the game, and I was like, can you guys call 911?
They eventually had Zelezny pull over the bus before law enforcement arrived on scene. Zelezny admitted to drinking vodka that day. A field sobriety test showed his BAC was .218. There was also a vodka bottle found in his bag.
So that was the time we looked at each other like, man, this really could have been worse than it was.
A potentially tragic situation avoided thanks to the quick actions of coaches and parents. Superintendent of Duluth Schools John Magus issued a statement on Tuesday saying he's grateful for everyone who stepped up, and the district is taking steps to ensure something similar doesn't happen again.
We reached out to Zelezny's employer, LCS coaches, for comment on this situation. They said in a statement they are grateful no one was hurt in the incident, and Zelezny is no longer an employee at LCS. According to the St. Louis County Attorney, they're not planning to file any other charges against Zelezny. It's likely squatters started a fire at a condemned Duluth home early this morning. Fire crews responded to the home on West 2nd Street just after 6 a.m. The back of the two-story house was on fire. According to the city, the home was condemned in 2012 and boarded up. Witnesses reported seeing squatters camping where the fire had started. The fire caused $70,000 in damage. No one was hurt, and the fire marshal ruled the cause accidental. The St. Louis County Board chose its new leader for the new year. The board chose Commissioner Paul McDonald as board chair. He served as vice chair last year. Commissioner Patrick Boyle will take over that role. McDonald is from Ely and has been on the board since 2019. After sending students back to school without testing and without masks, Superior is now stepping up its COVID protocols. Superintendent Amy Starzecki announced today the district will be opening a free testing site for staff, students, and families. It will be at Northern Lights Elementary, opening next Wednesday, January 12th. Testing will be available Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 4:30. A grant from Wisconsin DHS is covering the cost. Starzecki also explained why the district scrapped its mask mandate. She says the school board decided back in August the mask requirement for elementary students and staff would be lifted when that age group was eligible for the vaccine, which they were in November. She says cases in the district have remained low. Today, the Biden administration announced it's doubling its purchase of Pfizer's COVID-19 treatment pill as the Omicron variant drives an unprecedented surge in cases. The government ordered 20 million more treatment courses of Pfizer's antiviral pill. The president said the first batch shipped out on Christmas Eve, and 10 million treatment courses will be delivered by June of this year.
These pills are going to dramatically decrease hospitalizations and deaths from COVID-19. They're a game changer.
The CDC is now recommending booster shots of the Pfizer vaccine 5 months after the second dose instead of 6 months. And immunocompromised children as young as 5 can receive that additional shot. Staying in Washington, we are taking a live look at the Capitol tonight as we near the first anniversary of the attack on the U.S. Capitol. Minnesota's senior senator is reflecting on the security failures of that day. We spoke with Senator Amy Klobuchar this morning about what she saw on January 6th when Trump supporters attacked the Capitol while Congress was certifying the 2020 election results. Klobuchar is the chairwoman of the Senate Rules Committee and led a bipartisan investigation into the security failures of that day. She said it was shocking to hear there were no security plans in place to protect the Capitol.
One of the most haunting memories I have is the words of one of the officers over the police radio. Does anyone have a plan? In the middle of the whole insurrection, does anyone have a plan? There was no plan in place.
Klobuchar talked about the steps they've taken since, including replacing the D.C. police chief and sergeant at arms. Congress also passed a law allowing the police chief to call in the National Guard immediately, which was not the case before. Klobuchar says it's important to remember the officers who protected the Capitol that day.
We had officers that committed suicide out of this. We had officers that were humiliated. We had one officer, Officer Dunn, who had bravely protected the Capitol, cuts on his face, who was called the N-word 15 times.
She says more still needs to be done to ensure the Capitol is protected from all threats, foreign and domestic. Inspired by her family, a Northland College student is asking for help with a project she calls blessing bags. Mackenzie Rowlayman is a third-year student at St. Scholastica. She puts together bags filled with items like winter clothing, canned goods, and hygiene products to give to homeless people. She plans to keep 2 to 3 bags in her car at a time to give to people who might need them. She says it's something her family has done since she was a child, and now after living in the Northland during winter, she wants to bring some warmth to those who don't always get it.
A lot of people are like, oh, well, some of these people are just standing on the corner trying to get money, but you never really know who's just trying to get money and who actually needs something.
Rowlayman says she plans to fill up supplies as often as she is able, and depending how much she receives in donations. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll share how you can help. A Northland business is trying to make it easier to eat healthy. Their idea? Match every dollar spent on produce, making fresh food more affordable for people in need. CBS3's Quinn Gorham tells us how they hope it can make a difference in the community.
what's the best way to encourage healthier eating? The Chequamegon Food Co-op in Ashland believes it's making fresh produce like this more affordable, which is exactly what their new program aims to do. The program matches every dollar spent on produce with another dollar, doubling the amount of money people have to spend on fresh food. Anyone with an EBT card is eligible for the program. The co-op says they've been wanting to implement a program like this for a long time, but recently received grant money from Milwaukee-based Hunger Task Force finally made it possible. Sarah Beadle with the co-op says their program is the first of its kind in the state of Wisconsin, and they hope they can see more like it if theirs is a success.
Ashland County is actually one of the poorest counties in Wisconsin, and so it's just kind of a no-brainer for us to be like, hey, what can we do to help these people out?
The program kicked off January 3rd, and they plan to make it permanent. The co-op plans to keep an eye on the number of people that are using the program so they can track its success.
Thanks, Quinn. People hoping to take advantage of the program will need to show their EBT card to the cashier before paying for their food so they can apply the discount. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, one of the largest winter storms swept across the mid-Atlantic. Why many were stranded in the weather. Next.
Well, our storm system may not be that big, but it could go moderate to even heavy around here. So far, for the new year, we're running a 2-inch deficit for snow, but I think we're going to play a pretty good game of catch-up tonight. We'll talk about snow totals from this latest system and the cold that's eventually going to follow. In fact, rapidly following. That's all following this break.
The big in-stock winter blowout sale is on at Slumberland Furniture. Get year-end savings on everything in stock. Over 20 different sofas in stock and ready to go. Over 50 accent chairs and recliners too. In-stock items can be in your home really fast, even just a few days in some areas. Plus, save an extra 30% off all clearance items in store. Huge store-wide savings. Everything is on sale and shipping is free. The big in-stock winter blowout at Slumberland Furniture.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joshua Larson, a general surgeon at St. Luke's. Specifically in the field of general surgery, I've found that I'm often meeting patients at their most vulnerable. I try to empower them with the knowledge they understand the disease process, but I want them to feel confident and comfortable with the direction that their treatment's going. The most satisfying part of my job really is establishing relationships, particularly with my patients, but also with my colleagues and everybody as part of the surgical team. It's very rewarding to all be working together for the common good of the patient that's in front of us.
Kristen Vaki is as local as our evening news.
I'm from here. This is my home. I learned how to do a left-handed layup right there. At that hoop, that exact hoop.
Covering the communities she calls home too.
You know, there's nothing phony about it. That's who she is. She's just a natural at it, so I enjoy watching her because she's so good at what she does.
Leaders at Hibbing Taconite are scrambling, Menorca mining, family heritage, and iron mining history.
For everything local, watch Kristen Vaki on Live Local CBS 3.
I'm Nora O'Donnell in our nation's capital. We're here at the White House with the President of the United States.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
The Supreme Court building behind me is once again at the center of a monumental battle. Tonight, a congressional investigation sparked by reporting from CBS News. Our exclusive access to the presidential platform. We will witness yet another moment in history.
The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell from Washington, D.C.
Hi, Gail King here, inviting you to join us every morning right here on CBS. We'll have the important stories and the interviews, all the news that matters really, and best of all, we'll have a good time together. We like to do that. And now you can find us anytime you want on the new Paramount Plus app. So we'll see you every morning right here on CBS. I thought that one was pretty good.
Amazing Race Season 33, here we come! Go! Taxi! Yes!
I'm so proud of you, I could cry!
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Give me a kiss.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully, we're going in the right direction. Down here, let's go.
Slow and steady.
No, it's not, no.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
All right, let's talk about the timeline for our approaching storm system. It's over towards North Dakota right now, and tonight snow should begin for many of us around the 9 o'clock hour. There have been a few feeler flurries coming across. That's not the main game. That comes later on tonight. And then that game should end Wednesday afternoon between noon and 3 p.m. for Minnesota, but could last longer for Wisconsin. Maybe 9 o'clock tomorrow night, could even push into the early hours of Thursday. And then later on Thursday, the cold air comes charging in right behind the departing storm system, and we get cold once again. Well below zero once again, just like last weekend. Right now, it's well above zero for the last time in about 7 days. 23 degrees above zero. That's about 2-3 degrees warmer than normal. Relative humidity is 88%. East winds going 18 miles per hour, so we're going to be blowing this snow around just a bit. Air pressure's on the low side at 29.62 inches of mercury, as of course the low pressure system is set to come through from the northwest and work down towards the southeast overnight tonight. Current temps, matching set of 19s in the upper peninsula from Watersmeet to Ironwood. Wisconsin numbers go from 19 in Solon Springs to 25 in LaPointe, and our other towns are in between by a couple of degrees. Up the North Shore, anywhere from 10 up to Gunflint to 20 by the lake. Grand Marais, 25 Two Harbors, 21 Moose Lake. Mesabi range numbers low teens. Same deal for the Vermilion, 10 straight up near border country. Lows tonight could go below zero by a few degrees north of the ranges, and the rest of us single digits above zero. And that may be the last time for that for a while too, as the cold air comes a-calling. Right now, calling, it's the clouds. The clouds with the low pressure system are getting here, even though the snow is staying for most of us well up to the north and off towards the west. But hopefully, for those who are snow fans, 9 o'clock is the magic hour. And if you're not a snow fan, well, 9 o'clock will be the unmagic hour when the snow comes your way and works down towards the southeast. So we take a look at that system. The center of circulation is down South Dakota, North Dakota, but the snow right now is being created up towards Winnipeg. It'll come across, and when it does, it'll set the stage for Arctic high pressure to come in as early as tomorrow, frankly, at the same time the snow's coming across, and temperatures will tumble and stay tumbled, like I'm figuring here, for the next 7 days. So how much snow now? I think most of us are going to end up with 4 to 8 inches. The 8 inches more likely towards the Twin Ports here for Minnesota, parts of Wisconsin, the 4 farther inland. But lake influence, that's going to bring 8 to 12 plus possible for the North Shore and for the South Shore. And the 12 plus is most likely in Iron County and Gogebic County, again, thanks to lake effect. So let's now talk about the cold that's going to follow. By Thursday morning, we go 10 to 15 below for many towns, even towards Hayward area, getting close to 10 below. Friday morning, even colder. Could be pretty close to 30 degrees below zero again for International Falls, 20 below for the Twin Ports, 15 below for Hayward. And that cold will linger tonight. Minnesota, low temps from 6 below inland to 7 above by the lake. 100% chance for the snow to come across. 100% chance as well for Wisconsin and Michigan. Lows there 6 to 15. Tomorrow's highs 8 to 11 in Wisconsin, Michigan. 100% chance for moderate to heavy snow. 100% chance for light to moderate snow in Minnesota with highs 0 inland, 8 by the lake. And then the cold comes, like we mentioned, on Thursday. 10, 20 below for the rest of the week. High temperatures for the most part, maybe 0 to 15 above. The only blip may be Saturday when another low pressure system warms us up briefly to 20. That kicks off a 40% chance for another 2 inches or so worth of snow.
Thanks, Dave. Traffic is slowly moving again along a major interstate in the eastern part of the state of Virginia to the relief of hundreds of people stuck in below freezing temperatures. The I-95 corridor was shut down in both directions following one of the biggest snowstorms to hit the region in years. The traffic nightmare stretched into the morning, with drivers growing desperate for a way out. Images like this played out overnight, with hundreds of people left shivering in their cars.
I haven't seen a state trooper in at least 12 hours. I haven't seen a tow truck in at least 14 hours.
Well, more winter weather is expected to hit the mid-Atlantic region beginning Wednesday. State police in Virginia also responded to more than 1,000 traffic accidents and over 1,000 disabled vehicles statewide.
One of the worst turnpikes.
Yeah, you're familiar, huh?
Yep, I've drove on it when I was starting in Parkersburg, West Virginia, and I had to drive to D.C. area for some sporting events, and tons of traffic.
Yeah.
And if there's an accident, it gets backed up for just hours. it's not good.
Not good.
Yep.
Thankfully, those people are finally starting to move along a bit here.
Yes, for sure. So we got a busy day in sports as well, plus as the Dogs bring in some major hardware, plus UMD men's basketball team continues to climb up those rankings.
Stay connected to live local CBS3. Check out our exclusive content on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as our mobile app, and join the conversation on today's big stories. CBS3 Live Cams, brought to you by KohlerChef.com, now featuring the Kohler Express Deal online buying solution. KohlerChef.com, a better way to buy.
Sick of waiting for your furniture to arrive? Menards has furniture you need in stock. Plus, you get a free rug. That's right. Buy any upholstered living room furniture at $299 or more and get a free 5x7 area rug. That's $149.99 in savings. Need a new chair? How about a sectional? A new recliner or love seat? Buy one today. Get a free rug. Hurry up. Get to Menards before they're gone. In store only while supplies last.
Save big money at Menards.
Do you suffer from lower back pain while standing or walking? Northland Anesthesia Associates is here to provide you with surgical-free pain relief. With a fellowship-trained and board-certified staff, they offer each patient a customized, effective treatment plan. Call today for the relief you deserve.
It's that time of the year when we all want a transformation. First we hit the gym, then we try to diet. How about a makeover that will actually last? A bath makeover from Bath Planet. In 2022, we are offering a free premium color upgrade, 2 free accessories, plus no interest, no payments, and nothing down until 2023. So skip the gym and the diet and call Bath Planet or go online to book your appointment today. Bath Planet, out of this world service, down to earth price.
Eric Paulson here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and discoverwisconsin.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the Cabin Podcast, available wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Epilepsy can affect anyone with a brain.
It does not discriminate.
If you have a brain,
you can get epilepsy.
But here's something that's just as important to know.
Anyone with a brain can affect epilepsy.
So let's use our brains to do just that.
Let's change the way people think about epilepsy.
To find cures.
Because if all of us can get epilepsy,
all of us can end epilepsy.
We just need to use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains to end epilepsy.
CBS3 Newsroom, this is Kristen.
The snow may not be falling yet, but we'll bring it to Duluth.
Chip is encouraging safe
30 in the morning. Winter stubborn long days to talk about.
Multiple departments on scene. We'll take you there live now.
For you to learn something new every evening, we need to write something new. And that's why winning the 2021 Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing makes us smile. The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell.
Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app.
At the beginning of the college basketball season, the UMD men weren't picked to win the NSIC, nor were they picked to even win the division. They were picked to finish 6th in the conference. Well, they've completely shattered that ceiling, rising in the ranks as one of the best teams in the country. The Bulldogs are up 4 spots in this week's NABC Division II poll as the 5th-ranked team in the land. They started the second half of their undefeated season with a bang, posting a double OT road win against number 23rd ranked Ferris State. The Dogs will look to improve to 16-0 when Minnesota State and Concordia St. Paul come to Duluth this weekend. And speaking of those Dogs making national headlines, Gabby Hughes has been named WCHA Forward of the Month. It's the first time Hughes has ever received the honor. She's tallied 9 points on 4 goals in 5 games throughout December, and 4 of those games were against teams ranked in the top 3 or higher. Hughes led the NCAA in points per game all month, skating to a +8 rating and blocking 6 total shots. And there's a big high school showdown today on the hardwood. Tonight will be a big one in a Section 7A Finals potential preview. Hermantown will host Duluth Denfeld, the first time the Hunters and Hawks have faced off this season. Hermantown is ranked #1 in Class A, while Denfeld is ranked 6th. The game was originally scheduled to be played just before Christmas, but was postponed due to health and safety protocols. Puck drop is at 7 o'clock, and we'll have all those highlights tonight at 10. And there will also be a great 7A girls matchup tonight as well. 10th ranked CEC is hosting number 7th ranked Duluth Marshall. That's at 7:30. Of course, we will have those highlights tonight as well. And the Minnesota Wild, they're starting to look fantastic this season and look like a legitimate threat to take home the Stanley Cup this year. And the Wild showed that move today by announcing they have called up Matt Boldy and Marco Rossi to make their NHL debuts Thursday night against the Bruins. Boldy, Rossi are Wild's first-round pick in 2019 and 2020. Both Boldy and Rossi are two of the top prospects in the NHL and have shown their worth so far this season. The 20-year-old Rossi has a total of 23 points in 21 games, while Boldy has 10 points in 10 games.
I trust the process 100%. I wasn't waiting for that, because if I would always waiting and looking up my phone, then it would take a long time. So I wasn't really thinking about Minnesota. I was just thinking Iowa, and that's, I think, the best thing to do, because then you're not thinking too much about it.
Yeah, it'll be cool. I think it takes a little bit of the nerves off having each other, just to talk through it a bit. I think whatever you do in life, doing it with someone else makes it a little bit easier and a little bit less nerve-wracking. So I think it's a little beneficial for both of us here.
The Wild also put center Victor Rask on waivers after they recalled Rossi and Boldy. Should be fun for the Wild. They could be very good and finish off the season strong. Maybe win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, you know, that'd be good for all Minnesota fans. We deserve it.
We deserve some good luck in this state of sports.
Yes, we sure do. Thanks, Duncan. Well, Dave, we also deserve some snow, it sounds like.
Yeah, the
we
sky
need
will
more.
go wild tonight with snow chances on all sides of our borders here. Looking at some pretty decent totals and some advisories to boot. Winter weather advisory in effect through tomorrow afternoon for Minnesota and a slice of Wisconsin for the North Shore and the South Shore and the UP. Winter storm warning until 9 o'clock tomorrow night. Let's get a look at the latest radar image here, where we can see our low pressure system bringing all this snow. It is just to the north and west here of our area. Bottom line is 4 to 8, I think, for much of Minnesota. The zones with the warning, North Shore, South Shore, you could go about 8 to 12 there. So plenty of shoveling to do on Thursday when the temperatures start to tumble back towards below zero readings for several days.
Yeah, get the shovel ready tonight. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at 10 o'clock.